board. It's another time with Coach Ayo, the enthusiastic tutor, and in today's tutorial, it happens to be the very first class we are having on the course CSS73. All right, CSS732. CSS, I meant to say 743. And today we will be talking about, it's going to be all about security. For those of us who are into the stream, let's ensure to subscribe to the channel. Let's ensure to turn on the notification bell. And most importantly, let's ensure to join the private class, a community of like-minded students where we take classes regularly throughout the semester. To join the private class, all you need to do is to send us a direct message through our official website, which is coachayo.com. And in the bottom right hand corner, the bottom left hand corner, you find where it says talk to Coach Ayo. Once you click on that button, it takes you directly to where you get to send us a direct message, and we will be happy to respond to you. All right. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, according to the thumbnail, the course code is CSS743. All right. According to the thumbnail, it says CSS743, and the title CSS743, our first class. So for the one, security, we are considering the concept of security. Okay, so I need you to pay detailed attention to everything I will be lecturing upon during the course of this class. You don't want to miss a thing. So please ensure to follow through. I believe you have the writing material with you already. So as we go through this, ensure to take notes. Okay. And if there's anything I might have said during the course of the class that you don't understand, please ensure to draw my attention towards it. Now, when we talk about security, what are we talking about? Okay, good evening. It's great to have you on board. Speaking about security, Miss Cecile, I mean to say, how are you doing today? Thank you for joining. It's unfortunate that the network has not been very fun lately, but like I would always say, irrespective of the inconsistency of the service provider, that won't stop us from doing what we need to do. And here we are today. Now, speaking of security, it's definitely not, all right? It's definitely something we have heard of before now. This is not the first time we are hearing of this word security. Now, we have different perspectives to it. In our courses, in some of the courses we've taken, the undergraduate courses, all right, we have discussed about security. Also, we have discussed about security on a different level, on a different scale. All right. And what we are going to be discussing in the course of this class won't be won't be too different from what we already know about the term, but we are going to be, all right, going deep into the nitty-gritty of security. Now, when we say security, it is one of the most important concepts, all right, when it comes to, now this is a course for the Faculty of Social Science, and it's a major for the Department of Criminology. All right. Okay. That is the confirmation of the audio. I think the audio is perfect. So, speaking of which, it's a major for the Department of Criminology. All right. You need to have a comprehensive understanding about this term for you to go a long way in comprehending courses as far as your department is concerned. Now, security is beyond, that's in 4 level second semester, beyond just the protection of lives and property. All right, beyond that, and we will consider that during the course of this class. Really. All right. So now, when we talk about security, we are simply referring to, just a moment, I think I need to adjust this a little bit. Right, yeah, I think it's better now. Okay, now, we are simply referring to one of the most important concepts in security studies, peace, conflict studies, as well as political science and international relations, as well as criminology. This is to tell you how versatile, how wide these courses, as it's not limited to criminology alone. All right, criminology alone. Now, it refers to the condition in which individuals, okay, communities and states are protected, all right, protected from what exactly? From threats that may endanger their survival, development, peace, and well-being. So we can substitute this word security for protection. All right. We can substitute security for the word protection. Now, like we are being told, it is said to be a condition, all right, a condition in which individuals, a condition, all right, this condition involves individuals, are we together? Individuals, communities, and states. Communities, states, all right, are protected, all right, are protected from what exactly? From threats. Threats. Now, this threat is an embodiment of a lot of things. All right, it's an embodiment of a lot of things. So, this threat involves anything entirely, anything whatsoever that can, just a moment, anything whatsoever that can do what? That can endanger, all right? Anything that can endanger their survival, development, peace, and well-being of the individual the communities or states is referred to as threats, and they must be what? Protected from such, all right, condition. All right. So any condition that endangers, okay, I've already written that. Let's put that down. Okay, endanger endanger their survival, development, peace, and well-being. All right. So you can see that security is not just to protect life and property. All right. Anything that threatens the development of the community, all right, is a threat to security. Anything that endangers, that topples, all right, that unbalance, makes peace unstable, and inconsistent in a state or a community is a threat, and it is a threat against security. So security goes beyond just protecting an individual. It's a condition, and this is a condition that guarantees protection against any threat. If you define security and you do not include, all right, you do not include protection and you do not include threats, then you've not given a valid definition. So in the definition of security, protection, all right, is very important. Threat is also a very important recipe. Now, the concept of security has attracted, all right, it has attracted. I believe you all are on the same page and we all can hear me. Okay. This concept has attracted. Awesome. Thank you very much for that. This concept has attracted increasing attention. Why? Because every society requires peace. Every society requires protection. Are we together? Every society wants to achieve development in all ramifications. All right? And societies has evolved, new form of threat has emerged. You see why security is very important? Because every now and then things are changing. The nature of man is dynamic. It keeps changing. And as people begins to change, the level of threat that occurs in the Stone Age is nothing compared to the medieval era. It's nothing compared to civilized era. It's nothing compared to the modern era, every modernization comes along with its own problem, with its own threat, and therefore security must be improved upon. The standard, the quality must get better. Okay, now originally security focuses mainly on military protection of the state. However, in modern states, security now recognize that threats are not only military in nature, but also include poverty. All right? Yes, and there's poverty, it's a threat. Because when people are poor with no jobs, they want to do things that are unimaginable. Disease is also a threat to security. All right? Disease, terrorism, all right, like what we are currently witnessing in Nigeria. It's a very big challenge, but I think the issue of this terrorism has drastically been reduced. All right. So we also have um, food shortages, unemployment, and human trafficking. All these things. Now, like I would usually say, what we do on this channel is basically to educate. We don't encourage or instigate violence or anything that has to do with threatening of individuals' well-being. So please take note of this. Okay. So now, having said that, now let's now consider precise definition of this term security. Okay. Now, it says there is no single universally accepted definition, all right, of security because different scholars view it from different perspectives. All right, different scholars views security from different perspectives. So there is no generally accepted definition. Are we together? But we are going to consider different definitions from different scholars, nevertheless. And to start with, there is what we call traditional definition of security. So I'm going to erase this so we can accommodate more points. Please, if you're on the stream and you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do also subscribe. And if you have done that already, you don't do it twice. All right, there's a button at the bottom of the topic, the title of this class. It says subscribe. So once you have clicked on that button, automatically you have subscribed. So don't click on it twice so you don't unsubscribe. So now, to start the definition, let's consider the first one, which is traditional. All right, definition of security. Definition of security. Traditional definition, beg your pardon, definition of security. Now, traditionally, security means protecting the states from internal and external, all right, enemies. Protecting the states from internal and external enemies through military and law enforcement agency. All right. So I might not literally write out everything. This is an advanced class, but I will ensure to explain everything I need to explain, but I might not literally write things out on the whiteboard. Okay. So now, traditionally, all right, traditionally, when we speak of security, we are simply talking about, all right, the protection, all right, we are simply, all right, we are simply talking about, thank you for that, the protection that the military and law enforcement agencies provide, all right, for the purpose of protecting the state from internal and external enemies. There we have it as, all right, the traditional definition. Now, but it doesn't end there. Okay, the state is the principal definition of security. You are considering the state. All right, the state is the principal provider. All right, here they are the sole responsibility of the state is to provide security. Okay, military protection against external aggression is not taken lightly, according to this traditional perspective. Police also maintain internal law and order, and security is mainly achieved through states' legitimate use of force. All right, so it's only state that approves the legitimate use of force to protect its citizens. So all this falls under the traditional perspective of security. Now, let's now consider Thomas Hobbes' arguments as regards to security. So we have Thomas Hobbes. Please, for those of us who are new to the stream, we have a private class, and in this private class, you find like-minded students, students who are intentional, students who are particular about studying. All right, and we do not just take one course, we ensure we take all your courses as we spread your classes throughout the semester. So for those of us who might be looking for something of that nature, where you can have your classes consistently, even when you are not even around, when you are off to work, that does not stop you from still attending classes, because if you're not on a live class and we take your class, it will be automatically recorded. All right, and you can still visit the same class when you are back from work. How do you get to contact us? Reach out to us through coachayo.com, which is our official website, or you can just go search Coach Ayo in now and you get to find out everything you need to about us. Now, speaking of Thomas Hobbes' perspective, the political, Thomas Hobbes is a political philosopher, all right, and he argued that human beings actually live in a condition of conflict known as the state of nature. Human beings, all right, they what naturally live in a condition, all right, in a condition, and this condition is referred to as a condition of conflicts. Are we together? Known as the natural state, or the state, let's put the state of nature. Let's put this way: the state of nature, the state of nature. Now, according to Hobbes, life without government is chaotic. So people have to surrender some of their freedom to the government through what we refer to as social contract. All right. In return, the government provides law, order, and security. Therefore, the state's major responsibility is to maintain peace through what? Effective security management. Okay? Through effective security management. All right? So this is still under the traditional definition of security. We understand what it means already, and we also use Thomas Hobbes' perspective to further strengthen, all right, the concept of traditional definition of security. So let's quickly consider some characteristics. Some of the characteristics of this traditional security is that it is military oriented. Character, military oriented. Okay, it is military oriented. It focuses on territorial defense. Emphases are laid on law enforcement. Government has monopoly. If the government says no one can do otherwise, government has monopoly over legitimate. It is only the government that has the right to use power. That's just it. Nobody else has the legitimate right to the use of force. Okay? So we have military on here. Okay, we've seen that. State-centered. Okay, it is state-centered. Now that should be centered. State-centered. Then we have emphasis on emphasis. Let's write this clearly. Emphasis emphasizes law enforcement. All right, emphasizes law enforcement. So we have that as that. We actually started a little bit late, and we have eaten into the time of the other class we are supposed to have immediately after now. So unfortunately, we might have to stop here. All right, sorry about that. And in our next class, we'll start from the contemporary definition of security. So now we've considered the definition, we've considered what security is, and we've also considered the traditional definition of security. So I'm going to go on assignments. It's weekend, and we don't have classes on Saturday and Sunday. The next we are meeting now is by next week. So this is assignment 1. So with notes, 100 words. Okay. Explain the term security from following view. Just to 1, individual, and 2, state. With not less than 100 words, explain the term security from the following view: individual and state. So thank you very much, everyone. Here is where we call it a wrap for today. I believe you have been able to learn something. We apologize that it's quite a short class, but I promise you the next week we're having class. It's going to be longer, and we're going to cover a whole lot more. So thank you once again. If you want to join the private class, reach out to us through our official website, coachio.com. I'll be happy to see you. Don't just take PGT classes, we take MSc, MBAs, and also do not reach out to us. We're happy to attend to you. To have a wonderful evening, and bye for now.